Greetings and salutations. Thank you for lending an ear to the voice of the times, brought to you this Tuesday, February 1, 2022, by Wilcon Depot, the country's leading home improvement and construction supplies retailer. Shop conveniently 24/7 with Wilcon Online Store. Just go to shop.wilcon.com.ph. For today's editorial, Vladimir Putin's Ukraine riddle. Russia has massed more than 100,000 troops near its border with the Ukraine. The huge mobilization is seen by many as no less than a prelude to an invasion of a country that has long been in the crosshairs of Vladimir Putin. The intent may be clear, but it's the motive that has befuddled even the most astute political analyst. Whatever plans Putin has for the Ukraine, he's not about to reveal them soon. He's not even sharing it with his closest advisors, according to reports. The Kremlin leader thrives in subterfuge. He likes to project an aura of mystery. It's his way of keeping his opponents guessing. Deciphering Putin's decision to assemble a huge military force that appears poised to attack the Ukraine has been described as trying to complete a jigsaw puzzle that has many pieces missing. So, what is Putin up to? Does he really plan to invade the Ukraine, or is it all a colossal bluff? That is what the United States or US and its European allies are desperately trying to figure out. The initial US reaction has been to hurl threats at Putin. Secretary of State Antony Blinken warns that the US will deliver a swift, severe, and united response if Russia invades the Ukraine. And a US Senate committee announced it was close to approving the mother of all sanctions against Russia. British Foreign Secretary Liz Truss announced that economic sanctions will be legislated that will target banks, energy companies, and oligarchs close to the Kremlin. Tightening the economic noose may have worked before, but during Putin's reign, Russia's central bank has built up $600 billion in reserves, more than enough to see it through a trade embargo. Russia's stature in the global community has also grown. Countries that have embraced it as a trade partner might not be as enthusiastic in imposing economic restrictions. Putin may also be emboldened by the fact that NATO, the only dominant military force in Europe other than Russia, will never send its troops into the Ukraine. The remaining option is to use diplomacy and dialogue to talk Putin into defusing the Ukrainian powder keg. At this point in the crisis, however, that option seems implausible. The Russian leader will be negotiating from a position of strength, and it's unlikely that he will agree to major concessions. To US Senator Bob Menendez, one thing is clear: Putin will not stop if he believes the West will not respond. We saw what he did in 2008 in Georgia. We saw what he did in 2014 in pursuit of Crimea. He will not stop. Another political observer believes that Putin is aware that the US and its allies' publicly expressed position is hollow. It is no deterrent to his taking military action because there is no strong political will to act and no adequate military ability to do so in any meaningful way either. Right now, time is on Putin's side. He can launch a full-scale invasion today if he wanted to, or he can resort to a protracted campaign of destabilization. Some British defense officials believe that Russian intelligence agents are already operating in the Ukraine, sowing the seeds of panic by undermining the Ukraine's financial system through cyber attacks. If a shooting war does erupt, its fallout will spread across the world. Russia sends much of the gas it produces to Europe through the Ukraine. Cutting off that supply would drive up not only fuel prices, but the prices of other commodities as well. Russia is also the world's biggest exporter of wheat and one of the biggest sources of metals. Any significant shift in the wheat and metals market could send prices through the roof. Economically challenged countries like the Philippines will be the biggest losers in such a scenario. By thumbing his nose at the Western alliance, Putin can also inspire other leaders with an aggressive bent, such as North Korea's Kim Jong-un and Syria's Bashar al-Assad. Firing up the ambitions of oppressive heads of state is not a comforting thought at all. And that's the editorial for Tuesday, February 1, 2022. For more news and information, get a copy of the Manila Times on print, subscribe to our digital edition, or log on to www.manilatimes.net. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and listen to The Voice of the Times.